here. So what I'd like you to do is keep your eyes closed and take a deep breath. You're going to do it a few times. Deep breath. In through the nose, as deep as you can. It's the only time you want a big stomach. Deep, deep, deep. Hold, hold, and release through the mouth. Beautiful, I'm hearing that. That's what we want. Let's do it again. And this time a little bit more conscious. As you're breathing in, I want you to take in all the goodness that the universe has to offer. Deep, deep in through the nose. Hold, hold, and release. As you release, take out all the anger, the frustration, the anxiety, all of the stuff that you don't want. We're going to do this 3 more times, okay? Deep breath in through the nose, slow, deep. Take in all that you want. Hold, hold, and release. Another time. Deep breath in. Deep breath in, deep through the nose. Hold, and release. Keep your eyes closed, and as you keep your eyes closed, as you have the privilege of sitting in this room today, I want you to think about what this means for you, and I want you to think about what success looks like for you at the end of today. Today will be useful for you if take a moment, be conscious about where you're here, what you want to achieve, and when you are ready to start the day, open your eyes. Welcome to Henry, everybody. Alrighty, so my job here today is to basically sort of share with you 3 things. The first thing I want to do is I want to share a big part of our ethos at Henry Business School. As you've just experienced, we are very big on beginning to say, if we want to change our country and our continent, and you've heard, our dean is really, really big on this. He keeps saying to every single one of us that work here, our job is to create an army of doers. We need to make sure that we can move our country from beyond where it is into places that it needs to be from a continental and global perspective. And for us to do that, every single thing that we do and we base it on 2 core paradigms. The first one, you've just experienced a little bit of, and it's this concept of personal mastery. Because the idea is that you cannot manage and lead others unless you can manage and lead yourself. Does that make sense? And you can't manage and lead yourself unless you understand yourself. Am I right? And I can't believe I'm going to quote Will Smith here. Do you know, when he smacked Chris Rock, you know what he said? He said, we are all works in progress. He wasn't lying, am I right? We are all works in progress. Let us not go smacking each other. But let us recognize that through our journey of life, even the giants that you're going to hear from today, they're going to tell you that they are still works in progress. And they are still working on becoming bigger and better people in terms of what they do. Does that make sense? Okay? Let that always be key and core to who you are, what you stand for, and what you want to achieve. Okay? The second thing that is core to what we do at this business school is we recognize that in the world that we live in, and in the country that we live in, has there ever been a time in Mzansi where things are okay? Like I mean, ever, right? Like never, right? But here we are, smiling, still doing, trying to achieve and get things done. Am I right? And that's a testament to who we are. We are an embodiment of this concept called systems thinking. Systems thinking speaks about how the world is complex, but it's interrelated and it's integrated. Everything you do you touch one part of a system, it has an impact on another part of the system. You take money from the coffers, it means a bridge doesn't get built, right? You help someone in the street, it means they get to do something for someone else another time. Does that recognize and make sense? Right? And if I bring that back to business, even in the state that we're in, and that we've always been in, you still need to be able to do good in business. You still need to be efficient. You must be effective. You must grow. You must be able to do all of those things. And this concept of systems thinking that we teach from our NQF5 level post-matric right up to our MBA level. We teach it at every single level. And this concept teaches you to get comfortable in the complexity, in the difficulty, in allowing you to be vulnerable to still do the right thing and still make the decisions that need to be made. Does that resonate and make sense? Okay. And the third thing I want to speak about before I hand over is this concept of social capital. That's why we're here today, right? I don't know how many of you sitting here in the room today are the first ones that would have went to university from your families, or the first ones to actually be in management, or the first ones, am I right? First. We, as a collective in this room, are the social capital of what is needed to move our country beyond. The giants that you are going to hear from today, the giants that are going to speak to you today, I speak on their behalf, and I'm sure they don't mind when I say they want you to stand on their shoulders. Am I right? And they want you to do bigger and better things than they have done. You have to learn from where they come from, but we have to hold each other, and we have to create the network that's needed. Because we come from a culture that says it takes a village to raise a child. Why would we forget that? Why wouldn't we bring that into business? Why wouldn't we bring that into who we are and what we're about? Okay? And as I leave you today, I want to reiterate that your job is to make sure that you recognize you are a work in progress, which means you must work. You have to work on yourself. You have to work on the businesses you want to build, in the spaces you want to find yourself in. And the biggest thing you need to work on is make sure that you are kind in doing it. Kindness is what we need. Kindness will take us a long way. And kindness is why that gentleman has set up the foundation that he has. So on behalf of Henley Business School, welcome. We are so happy to have you here. We hope you can enjoy your time here and that you're going to make this place your home. And on that note, I'd like to hand over to our core guest today, Mr. Lengamali. Let's give him a big Thank you very much.
Morning, everybody.
Morning.
Are they okay? Sika, are they okay? Morning, everybody. Morning. Sanbonani. Oleni. Salam alaikum salam. Namaste. Torela. Yalosha. Hey. Are you better with your own language? Hey, okay. So much. Oh, thank you
You
so,
forgot
so
our
much.
way.
Away. There you go. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Yes. Oh, brilliant. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. The worst thing is to organize something and nobody pitches. So we were very worried as to whether anybody's going to pitch, but you guys came, and we are so honored that you're here, and we hope that this will be, as the Dean was saying, a memorable day for you, and that you will have a lot to learn, that you will be able to take out a lot of what we're going to talk about today and go and implement it and go and help others. Does that make sense? So I'm going to start with the story, and I hope the video in the story works. And the story is written, so you've got the visuals, but more importantly, read the story, because that story hopefully will tell you why we're here. Make sense? Thank you. My life didn't start well. At 18 years old, I'd been expelled from school. I was in and out of jail. I was in and out of court. And I had a bleak future. My parents, priests, teachers, veterans of the liberation movement saw a future in me that I could see for myself. And I vowed that I would plow back and give to others. And over the last 15 years, my wife and I have been involved in various things, with schools, the education, sport, mentorship, all of that stuff. And eventually, we created the foundation to give more of this. And when I had the opportunity to write a book, we could take the proceeds of the book and plow them into the foundation. To go to places where some people invite me to speak. Obviously, at home my vocabulary is very limited, but when I leave that house, my vocabulary is a bit broader. When they pay me, it goes to the foundation, and that allows us to have something like this. So the foundation is about giving, and I hope today, if you take out anything, it's about our ability to give to others, either time, either money, resources, skill, whatever it is. If we build a country of selfish people, we'll destroy one another. If all we want to do is to have the biggest cars, biggest houses, we'll destroy one another. If we want to build, we'll build a better future and a better country. So, on behalf of the foundation, we've invited you so that you can share in the knowledge that you're going to hear and have here, but so that you can also go and share with others. If all this for you is an Instagram moment, you've come to the wrong place. This is for you to learn and go give to others. So, I have been blessed to have the Henley Business School not only embrace the idea, but enthusiastically own it and partner with us. And can I ask us to give a huge round of applause to our partner, the Henley Business School. And it means a lot to me to be standing here as a Henley graduate after my dodgy past. So thank you, Henley. I really see this partnership going from strength to strength. And I hope you will see the way you are being embraced and welcomed, that Henley wants to do this and wants to journey with us in this. So who's here? Right? 200 of the finest minds in this country. We had about 720 applications up to the cut-off date. I will not count the other 300 that came after the date. But the 200 that are here are people of substance, people who have a great future. Please learn from one another. Don't spend the day and only talk to the people you know. And then next week, you've got an interview. That person you didn't speak to is now in the interviewing panel, and now you're wanting to be nice to them. It's too late. Then you've got your goodie bags, right? In your bags, you will have the program so that you know what's going on. You've got the notebook, pen, and then the prospectus from Henley and a meal voucher so that you can have a meal at lunchtime, right? Then all I can say is wow, wow, wow. All I can say is wow, wow, wow. So Dr. Mzamo Masito is here from Google. Has he arrived? There we go. Can you give him a round of applause? Quickly, Manala Vituli here in the house. Thomas in the house. Smoking Mama in the house. Professor Bonang Mohale in the house. Trey Kalafeng in the house. In the house, Victor Williams in the house. Jajo Nati is gonna come a bit later. You've been Sun City at the function last night. You'll be joining us. Sim Chabalala in the house. Now in the house. Restilo Malulete in the house. Sister Kumakwe in the house. Jack Solomon in the house. Bondo Mutu in the house. Itumeleng Masia Bavelemina Bonale. So they're here, guys. They're here for you, and they're going to have master classes. We have to do this right. There is no African time. So being late is unacceptable. Don't be late. We start on time, we finish on time. Okay? We want to change the country, we start with us. So if you're going to rock up late, you're part of the problem, not part of the solution. Right? There's a time for that, the facilitators will tell you, and everything is going to run like clockwork. I want to thank the board for allowing me to do all these crazy things. I've always come with a new idea and a new thing. Sizimbali Kanyile. Then my much better half, she must be working somewhere. Where is she? Yeah, she's busy working somewhere. Zva. And then our facilitators, can we give them a huge round of applause? These are amazing leaders I've worked with, I mentor, I've mentored. Some of them used to give me gray hair when I worked with them. They are it, right? Here's the next group, right? Can you give them a round of applause? Then, can I ask you to give a huge round of applause for the organizers? So, the two people there in the corner, beside the attendants, and then Mama G said, Itumeti, Dimpo, and Tebuko. Thank you so much. And then, for those who want books, there's bargain books there that's selling books. So you'll have that. And then a huge round of applause for Portia Nondo. Portia and I work together, and I'm like, hey, my sister, I'm trying to do this thing, but obviously there's no budget. And then she's like, okay, she runs about 5 McDonald's. So she said, okay, I'll pay for half of the food. So she's already paid for half of the food. So can you give her a round of applause? She's traveling overseas to bring you here. And then there are guys who are here to deal the media. So you can see, guys, everywhere you go, there's going to be camera, there'll be people interviewing you, there'll be people asking you, there'll be people posting and whatever. So please, in the classes, don't go and be taking pictures of the slides. You'll all get the slides, right? Don't be that person who's stepping in the class, right? And then we're also building up content. I've got a partnership with Moody and Smith. We've got a podcast on leadership that we do every Friday. So we're going to build more of that content for that. And then the volunteers. Can we get a huge round of applause? Our volunteers will be guiding you, helping you through all of this. So a huge round of applause for that. So I want to end off with the words that you got from Henley. You got love and warmth here. Everybody who's here is a volunteer. There's not a single person who's paid for being here today. Be kind to them. Treat them with respect. Treat them with love, so that the entire thing is about love. For example, there are clear reasons why the thing is demarcated that you go to this master class. Don't be that person. No, I want to go to the other master class. There are clear reasons why everything is done in the way that's done. Do you agree with one another?
Yes.
Okay. So, my leader, as one politician said, after speaking for 3 days, that concludes my opening remarks. Thanks.
Hi everyone, I'm Candice. Welcome. It's so good to see all of your faces. We're so excited to have you here. I want to tell you just a little bit of the order of events that's going to happen now after when we break away to our different classrooms. We have volunteers. Can I have all the volunteers standing up at the back here? We've got about 11 volunteers. They're all dressed in black. We've got a delegate badge that says volunteer. Please find them if you're lost. They will take you to your class and they will direct you to where you need to go. So they're all dressed in black, they'll be around, they'll be assisting and helping you. Each class will have a facilitator which will be assisting each of the speakers. They're in your class, they will be helping you as well. When we break for the tea, when we break for lunch, the volunteers will gather everybody into a common area where we will distribute all the classes. So we obviously want to do this in quite an orderly manner. So instead of everybody standing up and leaving at the same time, we're going to ask each class, class by class, to get up and follow a volunteer. The rest remain seating until your class has been called. Right, we're going to start with the blue room.